The connections are almost too bizarre to be fiction. Yet here we are, living in a reality where the most sordid political scandal of our generation keeps sprouting new, grotesque branches. At the heart of this latest twist isn't a politician or a banker, but a former First Lady and a documentary that never seemed to make sense. Until now. The story of Melania Trump's $40 million documentary, the disgraced Hollywood director chosen to helm it, and a desperate push for a forgotten movie sequel isn't just about celebrity vanity or business deals. Ironian? It's a flashing neon sign pointing directly to the ongoing, desperate cover-up surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's network. We're going to follow the money, trace the influence, and expose the fragile web of power that connects a Florida mansion to a Hollywood studio to the highest levels of media and politics. Oh, let's start with the documentary itself, because the numbers alone should have raised every red flag in the industry. Amazon, under Jeff Bezos, paid a staggering $40 million for the rights to a film about Melania Trump. To put that in astronomical perspective, the next highest bidder was reportedly around the $20 million mark. Netflix or Disney offered half, and Bezos simply doubled it. In the cutthroat world of streaming, where every dollar is scrutinized, this wasn't just an overpay. An overpay. It was a cannonball splash of cash into a very small, very specific pool. Why? What possible market calculus justifies such a sum for the life rights of a famously private former model and First Lady? The answer isn't found in audience metrics or artistic merit. It's found on the inaugural dais, where Jeff Bezos was conspicuously seated, and in the regulatory landscape, where friendly administration can mean billions for a tech giant. This was never a documentary purchase. It was a strategic influence-buying transaction, a $40 million chip placed squarely on the table of Trump World Access. Now, consider the director selected for this lavish project. Brett Ratner. Of all the auteurs, storytellers and documentarians in Hollywood, why him? This is a man who, in 2017, at the height of the #Me Too movement, faced public allegations of sexual harassment and assault from multiple women, including actresses like Olivia Munn and Natasha Henstridge. His reputation was tarnished, his project stalled, he became persona non grata. So why would Melania Trump or anyone advising her choose a figure shrouded in such controversy to shape her legacy? The question becomes even more chilling when you open the so-called Epstein files. Among the photographs and records from that depraved world, there he is, Brett Ratner. His face appears alongside a fashion photographer closely connected to both Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. This isn't a coincidence. It's a pattern. It reveals a shared social and professional milieu, a world where certain lines are blurred and certain people are tolerated. The selection of Ratner wasn't an accident of poor judgment. It was a signal of affiliation, a choice that only makes sense within the insulated bubble of that particular elite circle. This brings us to the head-scratching lobbying campaign. Recently, Donald Trump began publicly and curiously advocating for one specific Hollywood project, Rush Hour 4. On the surface, it's bizarre. A former president agitating for a comedy sequel? Ooh. But dig one layer deeper and the motive becomes clear. The director of the original Rush Hour trilogy is none other than Brett Ratner. Trump's push isn't about nostalgia for Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. It's about resurrecting the career and credibility of Brett Ratner. Sure, a major studio franchise greenlit on his behalf is the ultimate rehabilitation package. It washes away the stain of allegations, it restores his commercial value, and it sends a message that he is back, protected and empowered. Trump isn't doing this out of love for cinema. He's repaying a favor, cementing an alliance, or ensuring the continued loyalty of someone who exists within a dangerous nexus of secrets. But why would a former president care so much about a Hollywood director's comeback? The plot thickens when you follow the money trail to a multi-billion-dollar media war currently raging. Right now, there is a fierce battle for the assets of Warner Bros., which includes the crown jewel of CNN. On one side, you have Netflix with a substantial bid. On the other, you have a Paramount subsidiary named Skydance, backed by a staggering personal financial guarantee from Larry Ellison, the billionaire founder of Oracle. Larry Ellison is a known Trump ally. His son, David Ellison, is the Nepo baby extraordinaire at the helm of Skydance, desperate to acquire these media empires. Donald Trump has a vested obsessive interest in seeing CNN fall into friendly hands, specifically the hands of the Ellison family. He has already demonstrated the power of this influence. When the Ellison Skydance acquired CBS, which became Paramount Global, Trump mysteriously settled a long-standing lawsuit with the network for a favorable $30 million, complete with promotional credits. More tellingly, a damning 60 Minutes investigative report into Trump administration complicity in torture practices in El Salvador was abruptly killed. The pipeline from Trump's desire to corporate action is already operational and shockingly effective. So let's connect these dots into a single coherent picture. You have Jeff Bezos paying an inexplicable $40 million to Melania Trump, whose documentary is being made by Brett Ratner. You have Donald Trump lobbying to revive Ratner's career via Rush Hour 4. And you have Trump simultaneously pushing for Larry Ellison's family to win a $40 billion bid for Warner and CNN. This isn't a series of random events. This is a closed loop of mutual back-scratching. It's an influence peddling scheme where documentary overpayments and movie franchise lobbying are the currency. The $40 million from Bezos could be seen as a sweetener, a family-level payment that greases the wheels for broader corporate and regulatory favors. In return, Trump uses his remaining political capital to help an ally's son secure a media empire and to lift up a director connected to very sensitive circles. It's a tapestry of quid pro quo, woven with threads of blackmail, ambition, and sheer audacity. This brings us to the chilling center of it all, the Epstein cover-up. Every road in this story leads back to that poisoned well. Brett Ratner's presence in the files is not an isolated data point. It's part of a constellation that includes powerful figures who have repeatedly escaped full accountability. Remember, it was a Trump-appointed Labor Secretary, Alex Acosta, who as a federal prosecutor gave Epstein his infamous sweetheart to deal in 2008, allowing his crimes to continue for another decade. Acosta was rewarded for that service with a cabinet position. The pattern is one of protection. The slow, tortured drip of the Epstein files is not an act of transparency. It's a controlled burn designed to manage the narrative and protect those whose names are in the ledger. By focusing public attention on a single photograph of Bill Clinton, the Trump apparatus attempts to muddy the waters and frame the scandal as a partisan issue rather than what it is. A bipartisan network of predation, shielded by wealth and power. The American people are not fooled. They are demanding an Epstein-free zone in their politics and culture. This is why Trump's grip is slipping, why his approval ratings are at historic lows, and why his movement is splintering. It's not just policy or personality, it's a fundamental revulsion at the moral corruption this saga represents. The real scandal isn't just the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. It's the ongoing active effort by powerful people to contain the fallout, to protect their friends, and to ensure that the full, unvarnished truth of who was involved never sees the light of day. From a $40 million documentary to a comedy sequel to a media mega-merger, the common denominator is a desperate attempt to control the narrative, reward loyalty within this network, and maintain a wall of silence. That wall is cracking. Every new connection revealed, from a director's photo to a president's lobbying, is another hammer strike against it. The truth has a way of escaping, and no amount of money, influence, or rushed Hollywood sequels can hold it back forever.